Hi, welcome to an episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter, where today I'm going to be talking about the Bohning, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, Tower Fletching Jig here. As most of you know, I've been using this one here. I like this one. It's good for, putting on one at a time, but it's a lot easier to do 3 at one time. So I want to talk about that and some of the equipment that I'm using with this tower. So with that said, let's get right into today's show. Okay, so first of all, my review of the of this tower jig. It's nice. Okay, the only problem I have with it is that these arms here are plastic. So setting them up can be a little difficult, but overall, I'm really happy with this jig here. It's got these covers here. You have to order those separately. But as you recall, I talked about this a little bit earlier. When you order this tower jig, you need to order the complete set. Because if you don't get these. So you have to do the complete set. So you have to, it's like $10 more to get for the full complete set. The set I ordered had just the three degree fletchings, and either right or left. So that wasn't going to work for me. There's also multiple inserts that go right in here for different types of arrows. The one I have in here obviously is the Crossbow insert in here. It comes with three of these caps that go over the top. They say I'm only supposed to use one, but I use 2, and I'll show you why here in a little bit, because we are going to be fletching an arrow. Also, what you got to have is some sort of wipes. Now, I just use these screen cleaning wipelets that have a little alcohol on them to clean off the arrow, and also to clean off the jig here. A knife, some sort of knife, and glue. Now, I'm going to talk about glue here just a little bit. I got this EASTON maximum strength QUICKBOND arrow insert adhesive. So it's ready to shoot in 30 minutes. I got my reservations about this. Okay. And I've also got some super glue. Now, arrows 1 through 3, I've already done using this QUICKBOND. And then arrows 4 through 6, I have the super glue. And actually, we're going to be doing arrow number 6 today. With that. Now, I've done some, to make sure I get my fletching, my correct fletchings, what I have done on one of my arms here is I put a black mark right here. So I know that's where my red fletching is going to be. And I just realized I forgot my fletching, so I'll have to run back in the house and get those, and I'll do that here in just a moment before we start. So I made that mark there. And I also got this from the dollar store, this metallic marker. I got several different things to try, but this is the first one that I've tried. It's just a, I guess, a fabric marker. It's white. Got the little tip on there. But I use that. A pair of pliers. Because one thing you're going to need to do is take off your knock. Okay? To put in here. Now, depending on your crossbow arrow, okay, it's going to be with or without the knock. And here's why I say that. Now, I don't know how easy this is going to be to see, but right here, if I leave my knock on, okay, it's up a little high. So that little mark is right there. So that's not going to work. So before you do any fletchings or anything, make sure that where your fletchings are going to go, because you want them to be flush right down here at the bottom. And I'll get more into that here when we start doing this arrow. So let's see, did I forget anything? But again, I say this tower is really nice. So you can do 3 of them at the same time. Because one thing I did find interesting when I was doing these arrows, these first 3 or first 4 or 5, a couple of them, the white fletchings were off just a tad, just a little bit. So now they're all even all the way around. Now, I did screw up arrow number 1. That's 3. 2, 1. I did screw this one up a little bit the first time around. I got too much of this glue on there, and one of my fletchings was this white. One of the white ones here was just up, right up to here, a little bit high. So I had to redo one of these. So that wasn't that hard. It's not that hard to do. And also, you're going to need some sandpaper. This is 80 grit, I think, sandpaper. It's kind of the foamy sandpaper, which works just fine. But I think it was 80 grit. To be honest with you, I really don't remember off the top of my head. I got that a little while ago. So, with that said, let's get into fletching an arrow. But first, let me run inside and get my other fletchings. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my fletchings. I got a red one and my 2 white ones to replace the fletchings on this Black Eagle Executioner. And they're the same exact fletchings. So these are, I think they're called the QI2 or something like that. But I'll put a link to everything in the description box below on everything that I do use here. While I was inside, I also grabbed my box, and I'm going to show you some of the jigs, or there's different types of inner diameter, whatever you want to call them. Like this one here's the .230 inside diameter. This one here is 201 inside diameter. The pin knock, I'm not quite sure what that is. And then the 164 inside diameter. And they also have 240 inside diameter. So your shafts would go on these for your other arrows. But like I said, these are and it also comes with all the equipment that you need to put it together. It only takes like 5 minutes. I'm not gonna go through this, but there's videos on it on YouTube about putting these together. And it's really, really simple. And these are the 3-degree. This one is the 3-degree left. This is 3-degree right that come with the original set. Okay, let me get that out of the way. So, let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is take off my knock here. The knocks come out pretty easy. And then I'm going to find my mark on my one finger here. And I want to just slide that right in, put that up, slide my vein right in there. It doesn't want to go. Let me see here. Got a little bit of glue on there. So that's easy to fix. Because I used a little bit of super glue on this. And the problem with super glue is that it's more runnier than the adhesive glue. And I already see I got to buy some new. Yeah, so I can slide this one in there yet. There's just a little bit of a lip with the glue and the super glue to get that on there. Let's see here. Still a little bit high. I need to get some more glue off of there. I should have done that before I did that, but I didn't realize there was glue down there. So it is what it is, and we'll get it taken care of. I mean, it's just a smidgen that's down there causing a slight hang up. Okay. Got it. Okay. So now let me try this again. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put these towers on. And then I take my cap and I use the green one first. Or is it the orange one? The orange one first, because the orange one's just a little bit bigger. Can I slide that way down there? Then I take the yellow one, put it over the top. So I got 2 points of contact there. So now I take my little magic marker here, let's see, Crafter Square Metallic Marker. And I look at for my main fletching here, and I just put a little bit of, just a dot, right where it needs to go. Just a small dot. There we go. And I'll see if I can get it on this camera here for you. The small dot, if you can see it or not, but it's right there. So now my main fletching is all lined up, ready to go. So my spine stays exactly the same. Now I'm just going to cut these off. Now I'm going to take my sandpaper. As I can see here, I'm just going to sand this down a little bit. Get some of that old stuff off. And depending on how much you got left on there, is how long it's going to take. But I'm going to do this in real time so you can see actually how long that it takes. Again, it doesn't take that long, but you want to make sure you get all the old stuff off, and you might have to go back with your knife and just kind of shave off a little bit there of the old stuff. And then come back with the sandpaper again. Because you want to make sure that your arrow shaft is nice and clean. The nice thing about this foam sandpaper that you can use it forever, and it works really, really good. Now you can use the paper sandpaper if you want. That's fine, but you'll find you're probably going to go through that a lot quicker. Scrape a little more of that plastic off there. I'm hoping this shows up really good on the camera. I'm not really sure, but hopefully you guys get the gist of what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to take one of these cleaning cloths and just clean off the shaft and look at it. And it really works. Gets all that gunk off there. You can use just regular water if you want. That's fine. Doesn't make any difference. This is just my preference. And you can see there's clean that right off there. Okay. And I got just a little more to do here. Because what it does is make that shaft really shiny when you clean it off. And you can see all the old stuff that's still on there. And be real careful not to get your white mark there. So let me get another one here. I use a ton of these. I just bought some more. And it's just the stuff to clean your glasses, your screens on your TV or whatever. That's all these are. And they're cheap. I just bought 100 of them for like $5. Okay. So we're looking really good here. Okay. All right. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my shaft back in. Look for my mark. Turn my shaft towards my mark. And excuse me just one moment. I'm being hollered at. So let me come right back to this. Okay, so I had a little interruption there. Well, my engineers like the Band-Aids. I don't know. Okay, so again, I got my black line lined up with my white line, and all I'm gonna do here now is just double check everything before I put my fletchings in to make sure everything is lined up, which everything is lined up. Okay, so I'm going to very carefully remove these. And now I'm going to put my fletchings in. It doesn't make any difference where you start. There we go. That one's in. And now for the last one. So they're all in. Now I'm going to take my super glue. This is the tricky part with super glue. Like I said, since it runs really, really good. So I'm just going to let this kind of, my rock came out underneath my table. There we go. So it doesn't rock here. So I'm just going to take a little bit here and just let it kind of push it down to about a 1/4 inch or so before, because it is going to run. Okay. Real careful here. There we go. All that looks good. Now, I'm going to set these up. Put this on. Slide it all the way down. My next one here. There we go. And I'm just going to let it set for just, 10, 15, 20 seconds here. Give me another wipe. I'm going to need this wipe. Okay. The thing about super glue, it doesn't have to sit that long. Pull these off. I'm going to let that sit there for just a moment. And then I'm going to wipe off this foil a little bit, if there's any glue on it. I mean, there's spots, but I'm going to have to order me some more of this glue, this stuff here. I'm just going to pull that out, move that off to the side, check my, wipe off any other excess, if there's any excess here, try and wipe that off a little bit. Super glue is a little bit of a tricky thing here. Then I'm just going to rotate this here, make sure everything is lined up, and it looks pretty doggone good. Okay. So my veins look good. I check these really, really close. Make sure they're all good. Okay, so they look good. So, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a shoot off, okay, between super glue and this QUICKBOND, okay. And the reason for that is I want to see which one holds better. I mean, there's all sorts of brands out there of this fletching glue. There's many brands. Pretty much everybody's got their own type of glue. The thing with this one here, this EASTON glue, it really takes, when I put it on, it takes really, it's so thick that I really got to take 2 fingers or 2 hands and run it down the inside of the fletchings to get it on there. Again, just a little bit. But as you know, we've been having issues with the fletchings coming off these arrows. So that is why I'm using, going to do a test of these adhesive bonds between this one and the super glue. That's why I'm going to do it. Going to do a test. Because when I go to do my unfair competition shoot off between the Executioner and the 425 Ballistic Pros, I want to make sure everything is good and veins don't be coming off. So that's why I'm going to do the shoot off between these 2 types of glues. And I did these yesterday, and I'm doing this one, or doing number 6 today. So yeah, it's just a matter of putting things together and making sure everything is good for our unfair competition round 5. But if you got, but you know what? In the comments below, make your pick. Tell me which one you think is going to work: super glue or the EASTON QUICKBOND Arrow Insert Adhesive. Yeah, that's a mouthful, isn't it? So, which one do you think is going to work the best? And I'm going to tell you, I fletched with the super glue with this jig here And the ones that I've used the super glue on haven't come off. Hint, hint. But with that said, we got to try this. Okay? So all my arrows, all my executioners have been refletched. All the same. No changes except for, the fletchings. And they're both, like I said, they're the same fletchings. Let's see. Oh, I don't have any out here with me to show you. But like I said, I'll put a link below for everything that I used here for the Bohning tower. I'll even put the link to this one on here. And the fletchings that I'm using, the Q2I, I think that's what I call them. I'm not positive, but it'll be in the description below. Also, just to let you guys know, until Labor Day weekend or after Labor Day weekend, I'm going to be busy. The reason I say I'm going to be busy is that my daughter, my oldest daughter, my 6-year-old, she started first grade today. I got testing for my 5-year-old on Wednesday. Dentist appointment for my youngest next week. All 3 of them will be in school starting next week, and they all get out at different times. But after Labor Day weekend, things will start to slow down, and times will be a lot easier for me to get out and do some of these videos for you. So I'll do my best to get what I can out to you guys as soon as possible, and what I can get. I mean, it's going to be a tough couple of weeks, but that's okay. I'm looking forward to it. Well, kids in school, what can you say? So with that said, remember, family first. Take care of your family. And by all means, get out there and hunt, and see you on the next episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter.